Bruce, are Zdeno, Chara, and Grzelcyk playing tonight?
They'll be game time decisions. They're on the ice now. That's a good sign. We've always said once they get out there, they're that much closer. So
Both taking warm-ups? And what do you need to see to know that they can play?
Yeah, well, like I said, they'll be game time decisions. So they're out there now. See how they feel at seven or so tonight.
I know you mentioned earlier in the week that you thought about going with 7 defensemen. Is that still on the table for you?
Yep, it is. I mean, depends who's in there. There are different reasons that go into that. I don't want to go through them all right now. I thought we went through some of that yesterday. Depending on which guys are in, how much experience there is, what roles need to be divided. So we could play 7.
Left side standing up, Joe.
Coach, if that's the case, just what does it say about a guy like Pasta that can double shift as much as he does and still be effective?
Well, if we go 7D, someone has to come out, obviously up front. It won't be Pasta. So he's moved around a lot. He doesn't kill penalties, right? So you don't expend a lot of energy there. So there's opportunity there to move him around, coming out of penalty kills. Marshy does kill, so it's a little tougher for him to get those double shifts. JoJo doesn't kill, so we can move a right winger around. We can move a left winger around. Heinen's played both sides, so we're comfortable with a guy getting a few extra minutes. I guess it gets taxing, obviously, if you get into extended time. We can't worry about overtimes and this and that. We're just going to play the guys deserve to get a little extra time if we go that route.
Back left.
Bruce, do you plan any changes to your second line, and what can you do to get them going?
They had a little bit of a session yesterday, tried to kind of revisit why they were successful at times against Columbus or Toronto, previous opponents. How to get them to play, to be more effective against how St. Louis is playing also matters. I mean, I think when you're supporting the puck originally against St. Louis, because they're long, they get there in a hurry. So you have to outnumber them in a hurry, then try to spread out, not the opposite. That's what we found anyway. You can't get too far. Our spacing has to be good, tight early, and then start spacing once you separate, maybe to start making those east-west plays in the O-zone. But I think just to having more of an attack mentality, coming out through the neutral zone, supporting one another, and how to find common ground with each other. I mean, they've been aligned, but they haven't played together all year. Kretsch and Jake have. Obviously, David's moved around Bacchus a lot, so at the end of the day, it's a little bit about an attack mentality as well. Get skating. I thought Jake found his legs, Game 4, late in the game. Actually had some opportunities to attack. So it's attack, it's second effort, and that's generally how we've scored our goals, going to the net. Rebound the other night, Coyle got one, Carlo got one, even though it was shorthanded. So it does take a little bit of that mindset. You got to be willing to go there.
Right side, third row.
Just Bruce, with Chara, is it his call or is it the doctor's call at this point?
Well, the doctor has to give him the green light, then it'll be his call. If the doctor doesn't, then he has no say in the matter.
Right side, fifth row.
Hi, Bruce. I have a question about the Black Aces. I just want to know if they are involved enough to get a real feeling of what's going on right now and what they can learn as it goes along.
Well, you try to incorporate. They've been involved in a few of our practices. When we had an optional the other day in St. Louis, I thought it was real good for them to be out with. I think we had 7 or 8 of our guys, so they're part of it. By the same token, you got to be careful. I think we've done a good job of trying to stay in our own little bubble as a team, and they're the plan B guys, so to speak, for lack of a better term, without being disrespectful. So you want them on their schedule as well. So we've tried to, kind of blend that. I think it's important for those guys to live it, to see what, these guys are going through, how hard it is to get to this level. The pain you go through physically and mentally. So I was part of a group years ago when they won in 11. I thought it was invaluable for me. So I guess like anything in life, it's you can take what you want from it. Hopefully they're not just here punching the clock, enjoying the city of Boston. That's good if they do on their downtime, but hopefully game days are soaking it in, what's required. Hopefully dreaming that they'll be the next one. It'll be their opportunity down the road. while still preparing for that opportunity. It might come. We talked about Vakanainen, for example, the other day, whether he may be in or not. So it's closer than you think sometimes. So that's part of it, staying in the moment, yet learning from the process. Teams do it differently. We happen to have about 10 of them. I think that year in 11 they had 5. So it kind of depends on the situation, maybe how many young guys you want. Who do you feel needs it?
We'll do 2 more, front right.
Hey, Butch, you were able to put yourself into Torrey Krug's shoes the other day. Is it safe to say you've always been able to see the game behind the bench the way you saw it as a player?
Yeah, I mean, I've joked about it. I peaked at 18, so unfortunately. But that's what I was. I was a puck-moving offensive defenseman. I liked the power play. It was something I was good at. So I see the game, certain situations in the game I can relate to. I think as a head coach, you relate. You need to be able to see every part of the game. That's part of the job. But that's just one that I enjoyed more than others, maybe. So with Torrey, it's an easy discussion. So we have talks about the power play or any breakouts, that sort of thing. I think it's a little easier for me to have a conversation with than with Bergie about face-offs, or Brad Marsh how to get a puck out or Marshy or whoever how to get a puck out in the wall. That's not something I lived. So I understand that the structure of all those things, but to me this is a little more personal and something that I just have a little more experience in.
Last question, front left.
At what point did you find out that it might even be a possibility that Chara could play, and what does it say about him that is a possibility?
Well, I mean, he was never ruled out. Even the other night in St. Louis, he was ruled out for that third period. I mean, we talked about that. After that, it was going to be day to day. The first thing you worry about is like a concussion, right? Because then you're into protocol. So we avoided that, or Z avoided that, so that was good news. And then it's a matter of, what's next. So I guess yesterday we got a better idea, and then this morning, he's here. Obviously, he's on the ice skating, so now it's real. So that was kind of the timeline, if that helps.